Two brothers suddenly hear the sound of gunfire. Heavy gunfire shaking the air. At first, they wonder what it could be. But when they rush to the scene, standing at the doorstep of their own home, they cannot believe their eyes. What they see changes their lives forever. Their mother and father have been brutally killed by soldiers. The brothers stare in shock, unable to accept that their parents were gone so suddenly. The house has been ransacked, their belongings stolen, and everything left in ruins. Anger begins to boil inside them. They realize they cannot simply stand by. They must do something huge, something brave, something that would avenge the death of their parents. Welcome back to Movie Unlimited. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me. The movie begins during one of the darkest times in history. The Second World War had spread across Europe, and at the heart of it was Adolf Hitler, leading the Nazi army. Under his orders, Jewish families were being hunted down, killed, and destroyed. The Nazis were merciless. Town after town was emptied as Jewish families were dragged away, their lives taken without hesitation. The movie shows us horrifying scenes of brutality. Jewish families run desperately, but there is nowhere to hide. The Nazi soldiers invade homes, killing men, women, and children without pity. The Jewish people, who only wished to live in peace, became the main target of this hatred. One day, Nazi soldiers march to the house of a poor Jewish farmer. They show no mercy. Right there in front of the house, they shoot and kill the farmer and his wife. Their bodies fall to the ground, and the soldiers disappear, leaving nothing but pain behind. Hours later, the brothers arrive at the place. Their names are Zuz and Asael, and what they discover there breaks their hearts. The lifeless bodies of the farmer and his wife, they were their parents. Their mother and father had been murdered. Zuz and Asael are frozen in grief, unable to believe what they are seeing. They never imagined such cruelty could reach their own family. Heartbroken, the brothers swear revenge. They decide they will not let their parents' deaths go unanswered. But before anything else, they must search for their younger brother, hoping he might still be alive. Desperate and fearful, they search the wrecked house. Then, to their relief, they hear a sound, a small movement. They open a closet, and there he is. Their younger brother, Aaron, had been hiding all along, alive, but terrified. The three brothers cling to one another. Though their world has fallen apart, they still have each other. With Northwest safe place left, the brothers run into the forest. Deep inside the woods of Poland, they hide themselves away. Life in the forest is harsh, but they have no choice. They hunt for food, gather water, and support one another with every task. For months, they live unseen, trying to stay one step ahead of the soldiers who continue their cruel hunt. Days later, another man appears in the forest. At first, Zuz and Asael are suspicious. But soon, they realize who it is. This man is Tuvia, their eldest brother. Their joy is overwhelming, they are reunited at last. The family, though broken by tragedy, is once again together. Tuvia wastes no time in discussing their situation. He is skilled, trained, and armed. He carries a gun and has already used it against Nazi soldiers. With determination in his eyes, he tells his brothers that he has already killed many who tried to destroy them. Zuz and Asael then share the heartbreaking truth. Their parents are dead, murdered in cold blood. Tuvia listens, pain etched into his face, but his grief quickly hardens into resolve. He investigates the soldiers responsible and wastes no time. Marching straight to their homes, Tuvia unleashes his anger and delivers justice. One by one, he eliminates the very soldiers who tore their family apart. After gathering useful supplies, he returns to his brothers. From that day forward, the Bielski brothers make a decision. They will not only survive but also protect others. They begin seeking out other Jews hiding from the Nazis. Whenever they find someone, they bring them back to the forest. Slowly, a community begins to form. Hidden deep within the woods, Jews begin to live together, free from the Nazi threat, for now. Among those in the forest is a man named Victor, a Russian commander. Victor and his men are also enemies of the Germans. Together, they fight the Nazis while helping the Jewish refugees build a safe haven in the wilderness. For the first time, hope begins to grow. But not everyone agrees. Zuz, one of the brothers, grows restless. He worries that the more people they bring, the greater the risk of being discovered. Too many people could mean disaster. Fearful, Zuz decides to leave, distancing himself from the growing community. Still, the rest of the brothers stay. They lead the camp, guiding the people, protecting them, and building a family out of survivors. They gather Jews from the cities, orphans, widows, anyone who has lost their home. The forest becomes their new world, a world built on unity and courage. But soon, another threat appears: winter. The cold is merciless, food grows scarce, and survival becomes even harder. The people, desperate and starving, begin to fight among themselves. Hunger drives them to unthinkable acts, stealing, betraying, and even killing. Some even resort to eating their own pets, their dogs and cats, just to stay alive. One of the brothers, the youngest one named Asael, notices a girl in the camp named Bella. The moment he sees her, his heart is captured, he falls in love at first sight. Unable to hold back his feelings, Asael goes to his elder brother and tells him about Bella. He admits that he wants to marry her and asks for help to make it happen. The movie shows us that despite the pain, the hunger, and the constant fear in the camp, life still goes on. Love still blooms, even in the darkest places. In the middle of all the chaos, the brothers arrange a beautiful ceremony for Asael and Bella. The camp gathers together, and for a moment, joy and celebration fill the air. They get married, and their smiles shine brighter than the hardships around them. Even in the shadow of war, happiness finds a way to survive. But happiness doesn't erase hunger. The problem of food continues to haunt the camp. Every day, people struggle to feed themselves. Fights break out, sometimes small, sometimes deadly. People begin to envy one another, stealing scraps of food, even attacking one another just to survive. The brothers, watching this, feel their hearts break. They try to calm everyone, reminding them that dark days will pass, that survival depends on unity, not chaos. They speak of hope, telling people to hold on, but the hunger is too strong. Many refuse to listen. The days pass in tension, but then, finally, winter ends. The ice begins to melt, the sun returns, and hope rises again. People rush out to gather water, collect food, and prepare meals. For the first time in months, the camp feels relief. Laughter returns, and children play. For a brief while, life in the forest feels normal again. Years pass. The people continue to live in hiding, growing as a community, holding on to survival with determination. But one day, disaster strikes again. A German airplane spots their hidden camp from above. Without mercy, it swoops down and opens fire. Bullets rain from the sky, and chaos erupts. People scream, running for cover, but many are cut down. The attack takes the lives of countless men, women, and even innocent children. The scene is heartbreaking. Among the survivors, the brothers are devastated. Tuvia, the eldest, steps forward. With strength in his voice, he takes control. He rallies the survivors and leads them to another hideout, deeper in the forest, where the Nazis will not find them so easily. Everyone runs, desperate to escape. But fate strikes again. Just when they think they are safe, a German tank blocks their path. From a distance, the tank aims and begins firing. Explosions rip through the ground, tearing apart everything in its way. More lives are lost in moments of horror. The brothers and the armed men of the camp fight back fiercely. Tuvia and the others grab their guns and fire with all they have. But the odds are against them, the enemy is too powerful. People continue to fall, and despair begins to spread. Then, something incredible happens. Out of nowhere, reinforcements arrive. Another force enters the battle, joining the fight against the Germans. To everyone's shock, it is Zeus, the brother who had left earlier. He returns, but not alone, he brings the Russian army with him. Zeus, who had joined the Russians, now comes back to fight alongside his people. With the Russians on their side, the battle turns. Together, they push back the Germans. Zeus, filled with determination not to see his people die in vain, leads the charge. He finds the survivors of the camp and helps guide them to safety. The forest, once filled with sorrow, now becomes a place of resistance and strength. The survivors rebuild again. They create a new camp, larger and stronger than before. This camp, though still hidden in the forest, is more than just a shelter. It has schools, hospitals, and families growing together. They steal supplies from nearby cities, bringing back medicine, tools, and food to keep the community alive. Against all odds, they create a society out of nothing, a place where life can continue. Months pass, and tragedy strikes once more. Asael, the youngest brother, the one who found love and married Bella, is killed. His death shakes the entire camp. Even more heartbreaking, Asael dies before ever holding his child in his arms. His wife gives birth after his passing, but he never gets to see his baby, never gets to smile at the life he helped create. Despite this pain, the community continues. Zeus eventually leaves for New York, where he starts a new life. The war itself eventually comes to an end, but the memory of what the brothers built remains. The camp they created saved more than 1,000 Jewish lives. The movie ends by reminding us that what the Bielski brothers did will never be forgotten. Their courage, their sacrifice, and their defiance against the Nazi terror became a story of hope. To this day, their names live on in history as men who refused to give up, men who gave life back to the people who had lost everything. Dear viewers, this was the story of Defiance, 2008. A story about survival, courage, family, and resistance. What are your thoughts about this movie? Let us know down in the comments section. And don't forget, until next time, when we bring you another amazing story, stay safe and stay tuned.